Across the main street in Desoto is where the first Desoto High School was built in 1906. And this was built to replace the 9 existing one-room schools scattered about Delaware Township. The first class of this elementary and high school graduated in 1906. The last class of seniors to graduate from Desoto was the class of 1967. Due to the consolidation of 4 high schools, Desoto, Albany, Eaton, and Rorton, into Delta High School. There is still an elementary school in Desoto for grades 1 through 6. And talking about the schools, I have a picture of the old school bus drivers' hack barn with their teams and buses behind the schoolhouse in Desoto. A committee of men finally bought the Desoto school property and converted it into the Desoto Park with shelter house, children's rides, and a basketball court. Now, other buildings in Desoto. One was the first large greenhouse built in Desoto, close to the railroad on property owned by John Needler, who built this greenhouse about 1890. He sold it to a Mr. Smoker about 25 years later, and this man built a canning factory at the end of the greenhouse because he knew he could run both the greenhouse and the canning factory on the same steam heating plant that they had for the one. In 1935, Mr. Smoker sold the canning factory to 2 men from Muncie who moved the canning factory in on North Walnut Street in Muncie, and they operated it for about 25 years. The old greenhouse was purchased in 1935 by Clayton Pittenger, who dismantled it and used the material to build a smaller greenhouse up next to his home on the street in Desoto. And Claude ran this greenhouse for the next 25 years. This Mr. John Needler, who owned the original greenhouse, had a son, Frank Needler, who built a building on the main street in Desoto to house his bicycle and buggy shop. This was built in 1898. He replaced it in 1937 with a glazed brick building, which he used as an automobile repair shop. At his death in 1952, his grandson, Norman Needler, purchased the property and eventually sold it to Lee Huffman, who had been renting the house for some time.